2015 meeting of the Limestone County Commission to order. Under public comments, I don't think Dr. Pittman is going to make it. Is that right, Commissioner?
That's
Black?
correct.
But would John Underwood and Associates? Yes, sir. And you're going to make a presentation? You're Brian one?
Yes.
If you don't mind, Brian, if you'll speak at the microphone.
On behalf of Underwood and Associates, I'm Brian Terry. I'm going to start the information for y'all, and then Mr. Underwood will finish up and give the summary.
Thank you.
This is on the EMA and 911 storage facility. This project started way some time ago, and of course we've had a change in the commission, and so that's delayed some things that we've worked on. Just so you have a little background, I know a couple of you do because I've talked to you individually, is that when we started this project, there was a lot of other things going on with the project that changed hands with the last commission and then with you as well. And we had to wait on the actual site location because until the site location was determined, there was a lot of stuff we could not do until that was determined. And that was about a year and a half after the project actually started. So that's part of the time delay in this project. The actual design and bid documents as far as the construction drawings and the design, including mechanical, architectural, site, everything is complete. We have a few things about specs that have to be coordinated with EMA and with Pam and the commission to get that information taken care of. So I have the drawings if you'd like to take a look at these at all. And if not, I plan on delivering these to Eddie Gilbert as soon as I leave this meeting. He's waiting to get one final look at these before we go to bid. So if you have any questions for me, I'll be glad to answer. I'll turn it over to Mr. Underwood to talk about the final things.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brian. I'll introduce myself first, I guess. I'm John's father, so we get mixed up quite often. I'm sure you're familiar with some of those things. Just adding to what Brian has said, we have set a tentative date to receive the bids, and I say tentative because we are waiting on your response to this of the 27th of August, 2 o'clock in the afternoon at the other building. And I understand that I should furnish Ms. Ball with the advertisement to run in the paper.
Yes, sir.
And this is for a small project. It has some detail. For instance, there are 3 alternates. One is for site preparation, one is for asphalt paving, and one is for the finishing of the EMA meeting room. So all of that has to be coordinated both with the specifications, which I have here, and with the drawings. But otherwise, we are ready to furnish that advertisement and get it started and set that date if that's agreeable with everyone.
Yes, sir.
Generally, we like to give 3 weeks to bid a project like this. I think on this one, it doesn't have to be that, but it's always a good idea.
Thank you, sir.
We're still waiting on ALDOT on the other one. Is that
Yes,
right?
sir.
Is that what you said, Pam?
That's correct.
So when we bid this out, what the archives bid, so when we bid this one out, we won't have to be bidding 2 of them, so probably get a little bit better set of people then, so that's good.
Yeah, this I hate to say too much about ALDOT, but I know Tez Morrell has been after them, and I myself have been in direct contact with them and pleading with them to tell us what they need more than what we've done to get this job out for bid. But it's anyway, we'll still looking to hear from them.
Well, thank y'all. I know Ben Harrison will be glad. This will be a storage building for the command post, so you'll free up some space out there where you are.
Okay,
It's another slot.
good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is there any other public comment? Besides the courthouse?
Bill Jaguar and Marie Hood from Mental Health.
Okay. Yes, sir, absolutely.
Good
Good morning. My name is Bill Jagger. I'm with the Mental Health Center, and I'm here with Maria Hood, our Executive Director. What you are receiving is our annual request for appropriations from the county to provide services for the community. This is something that has been extremely beneficial to us as your community nonprofit healthcare provider to provide service to the community. Last year, we provided mental health services to about 1,100 people. And this county's contribution is absolutely essential to make that happen, especially given everything that's going on in the healthcare industry. And I could probably talk ad infinitum, but I won't. I will just address any questions you may have.
I don't have any. Any other questions?
Not right now.
Do you have in here a breakdown of what each county that represents, that covers north central Alabama, what they provide? as far as
I
the
don't have it
budget?
in that handout, but I can certainly get that to you.
That last mail out y'all had sent showed it had a breakdown as far as the amount of people that,
Yes.
right.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's
got
in
the
your
amount-
handout.
It's got the amount of people, but I just didn't know what the amount of funding was.
I can provide that information for you. It's not, this is specific to the county. And that information handout that all of you receive every month, it's an actual number of the people we serve in Limestone versus Athens versus every other place. So that's what we do for the county.
Great. If you could just get the information Commissioner Black requested, just get it to Pam, and you can distribute to the commission. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else before we move on to the courthouse renovation update?
I don't have anyone else.
Mr. Littleton, you're up.
Stand here. Good morning, everyone. My name is Robert Littleton. I'm the Director of Architecture for Goodwill Mills and Kaywood. I'll start my update on the courthouse renovations. We're continuing to work on the structural repairs that we have found through the uncovering and the demolition with the large steel beams, not only in the floors but with the walls. But we're also seeing some progress with the mechanical system installation, the electrical system installation, as well as the plumbing. So as we continue on the repairs, we're seeing momentum build up as the construction moves forward. Moving on to the jail expansion, this morning I did speak with Jim about that. The floors are down and the floors are sealed last weekend. The plan is also to start and finish the landscaping next week, and we're working to schedule final inspection next week. So you'll see the memo come out probably by midweek of this week. So we're hoping to have the final inspection next week early. So
When do Pam and Michelle and I were in the courthouse last week. When do you foresee, Robert, the electrical and the plumbing being done? Because I know the duct work is winding up really quickly.
you know, I would say in the next few months, definitely. You know, I mean, they're moving forward as quickly as they can,
If
and they're
we
working
get-
around the structural repairs.
Right. And they've done a lot of the structural repair. But we get to the point where we can start putting sheetrock up, then we
That's
ought to
right.
start seeing the.
That's right. You'll start seeing the spaces really start to form themselves and come together at that point.
When are we gonna bid out the courthouse roof? When will you have that? Now, I had, the National Historical Commission and.
The roof.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
had them come and look at the samples to pick the colors, and as good fortune would have it, they concurred with y'all's.
Yeah. and
Recommendation
We
is to
saw
send-
that. Miss Pam sent me an
Right,
email, so
so-
we got that. So I'm thinking we're in the final review with the documents now in coordination with Martin and Kobe. So I would say that it'll take 3 to 4 weeks to advertise. So we would be looking at bidding it probably a month from now.
Okay.
Would any repair works be done to the dome? Couple.
We have some general notes there, but we haven't specifically addressed that condition.
Thank you, sir.
Are we still looking at, I'm noted for wanting to know the date that we can move in. Are we still looking at January 2016? Are we looking beyond that, or is that too early to take?
I would say we continue to be hopeful that we are working with the contractors to be completed by January, but the structural repairs have slowed us a bit. So it may be, late January, early February before we can get in there, but that would be,
Well,
that's our goal.
With the structural repairs, I was thinking maybe mid to late February.
Mhm.
I mean, we lost 6 weeks basically on
That's,
that.
that's very possible.
Even though we worked the entire time and there was complete stoppage, but it did hinder the progress on it.
That's right.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, sir. All right, if there's no other, we'll call roll.
Commissioner Hill,
Here.
Commissioner Turner,
Here.
Commissioner Black,
Here.
Commissioner Harrison.
Here.
All in present. Commissioner Black, would you lead us in our pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first order of business is to approve the minutes from July 1st, 6th, 15th, and July the 20th, 2015. Do I hear a motion to approve such minutes?
So move.
I have a motion from Mr. Hill. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a second from Mr. Turner. Any discussion? There's no discussion. We'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. At this time, I'll ask for a motion to approve claims in the amount of $1,292,136.70 before the commission.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Turner. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
I have a second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, we'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item on the resolutions and orders is approve a resolution in agreement with the city of Huntsville for improvements to Greenbrier Parkway in Limestone County. Do I hear a motion to approve such resolution?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, we'll call for the vote.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item on the contracts, agreements, and grants, approve a contract between the Administrative Director of Courts and Limestone County Commission for Court Referral Officer Services effective October 1, 2015 through September 30th, 2016. The county will be reimbursed monthly $2,592. The maximum total amount to be reimbursed is $31,101.50. Do I hear a motion to approve such contract?
Make a motion to approve.
I have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
I have a second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, we can call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. We'll move on to number 2 under contracts, agreements, and grants. Contract between Tennessee Valley Authority and Limestone County Commission for extension of wave break to provide improved access to Wheeler Reservoir at the Round Island Public Use Area, Calford. Reimburse up to $10,000 for remaining of fiscal year 2015 and up to $20,000 for fiscal year 2016. Do I have a motion to approve such contract?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion?
I think, Richard, if you could just tell us what this really, I know what it is, but explain it to the,
There's down there at the Calford boat ramp where they launch the boats, the waves come straight in off the river and tend to swamp boats coming in off the stern of the boats. And so there is an existing breakwater built out of riprap that extends part of the way out. We were looking to extend it further. TVA at first offered $15,000 to help us with it, but we've run into environmental fees with 8M, and we've got to get a endangered species study done now. And so TVA has offered to increase the amount of money toward the project. And what we've essentially got now is $30,000 for the project, and probably 15 of that will be for the fees and the environmental studies, and 15 will be for construction from TVA. And the county's match on this is our labor and machine time to actually install and build the breakwater, but when we'll use their funds for the direct purchase of the riprap.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
In the exhibit, it's 105,000. Is that attachment A? Riprap, right?
Get 100.
First page on number, attachment A? Well, actually, it's,
Probably.
Oh, yes, that is the project estimate to build it completely the way we'd like to build it, but all we've got to do is spend the TVA money. I don't think we're gonna build it.
Okay.
The plans that we've turned in, and I don't know where they got 105,000. I think my estimate was 40,000.
Yeah.
okay.
Our plan included going further than what we knew we had money for. But if we get the permits for the plan to build the whole thing, then if somebody comes up with some money in 2 years from now, we've got the permits already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no other discussion, we'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. At this time, under budget revisions, approve the following budget revision for the sheriff's office and detention facility. To add $45,000 to inmate medical, $75,000 to utilities, and to take that out of the general fund, basically, county property tax. We had, inmate healthcare, as we know, is rising all the time, and then we actually had a water leak up there that we're working with the city of Athens on. It went undetected. It was a break, and it was going in a storm drainage pipe, and it just never showed up, which resulted in overpaying tens of thousands of dollars. But I've spoken to the mayor, and I think we're gonna be able to work something out to get reimbursed for some of those funds.
Is that inmate medical? Is that one, or is that one particular case?
We've got one
It's
case,
two actual inmates that had surgery
Okay.
over the course of the year.
but I think we got one that's just really rained up there, don't we, Chief? Yeah, so. At this time, I'll ask for the motion to approve the following budget revisions.
Make a motion to approve.
Have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Have a second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion? No discussion. We'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. There are no emergency purchases to come before the commission and no board appointments. We'll move to award bids. I'll ask for a motion, and you have the printouts before y'all. Appraisal uniforms for the Revenue Commission Office and EMA Incident Command Center Interior Addition. The addition is being paid for by TVA. At this time, I'll ask for a motion to award these bids presented to the commission.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Have a motion by Mr. Turner. Do I hear a second?
I second.
Have a second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, we'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to personnel actions. Item number one, hire Mardra Connor for the part-time position of homemaker for the Council on Aging pending drug and alcohol screening. Do I hear a motion to do so?
Make a motion to approve.
Have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Have a second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, we'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Next item, approve family medical leave for Connie Moore beginning August 3rd, 2015, and ending September 28th, 2015. Do I hear a motion to approve such medical leave?
So move.
Have a motion by Mr. Hill. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Have a second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, we'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item, promote Bryant Moss to position of county engineer effective September 1st, 2015, pending approval of contract terms. Do I hear a motion to do so?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. I have a second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, we'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item, merit increases. You have the printout of the employees before you. Do I hear a motion to grant these merit increases as presented to the commission?
Make a motion to approve them.
I have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second?
I second.
I have a second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, we'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Our next item, the engineer's report, approve the following subdivisions, Nancy C. Brown subdivision. Mr. Sanders, I assume you recommend this action?
Yes, sir, it's a minor subdivision, no new streets involved. It's taking 3 lots and making it into 4.
Thank you, sir. At this time, I'll ask for a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, we'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black?
Aye.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Hill?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. There's no other business and no scheduled public hearings. Therefore, we'll move on to report of officers. Commissioner Hill.
Yes, we replaced some of the metal on District One shed that was in dire need. We had leaks. We are currently bush hogging, bushwhacking, ditching, and doing our normal daily duties.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Turner.
We had a small water leak this weekend at the tool shed, but we got it stopped. I'm not sure how long it was leaking. No, it wasn't leaking Saturday afternoon about 2, but it was leaking Sunday morning about 10, so we did have that problem, so I'm assuming our water bill will be a little higher than normal. But outside of that, we're bush hogging and cleaning out ditches, just general maintenance.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Black.
We just lost the paving crew out of our, my district. We were able to pave 2 roads that were previously gravel, that have been gravel since, I guess, the beginning. So we were glad to take those and chip seal those and make them a little bit safer, and maybe we don't have to drive on the other side of the county with a road grader near as much. So that'll save us a lot too. Also, this is the beginning of school. I'd just like to make sure that everybody says prayer for the new kids that are going to school this year and for the teachers especially. So make sure you put that up. Thank
Spoken like a former teacher,
you. You bet
educator.
you. Yeah, it's a rough first week, I promise you.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Harrison.
Well, the paving crew is in our district for the next 3 weeks, and we're doing Poplar Creek Road, Happy Hollow, and doing some side stripping on Anderson Road. We also had scheduled, was trying to get the East Ferry culvert done before school starts, but we won't be able to do that. We're having a hard time getting the pipe, but that will be disruptive there for at least 1 or 2 days after school starts. So just let people know.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to thank everyone for coming. Y'all have a great week. As you know, we keep moving forward and upward in Limestone County. And thank you for coming. With that, we'll recess to 10 a.m. on Wednesday, August 12, 2015 at the Washington Street Courthouse Annex at 310 West Washington Street.